Hey guys, I'm Tony Moore and this is how you do it. So we're picking up a few projects today, which is why if you look through the videos, you'll see the background's changing, the bench is changing, everything's changing all the time. I apologize, but we live busy lives, so we pick them up where we can. I'm sure you understand.
They're all just reaching for a piece of you.
This is what we've been working on. Remember, we've been to the powder coaters? Yeah. And we're getting back to our ROGERS drum. So we've got our snare frame, yeehaw, from our ROGERS. The importer in Australia, their name is Music, and they've been very helpful, helping me get the snare parts and everything I need to get this ROGERS drum back up and running. So I'll drop these to here. Won't hit that. I'll get rid of the shell. Shell's all good, looking good, ready to go. Bearing edges cut. Wanted to show you a couple of things quickly. So if you can lift this up nice. There we go. Okay, so coming a bit closer, let's have a look at what we got here. I don't know if you remember, but we had to make snare gates. And we had to also do this protective bar over the snare gate on our hoop. Just been mucking around with this ROGERS drum here. We've made this gate. I've rushed ahead and I haven't shown you how I've done this. But basically I've bent these pieces up. I actually just cut them straight out of some old stock I had here of a piece of stainless, which is an angle. I went to the shop to see if I could buy a piece of sort of bar this kind of big, but they wanted like $14 for it. I thought, I'll stuff that. I can actually cut it out of stainless, and this is a stainless piece, so I figured I've got it here and it's free. Let's use that. So what I've done is I've twisted these pieces of metal. Now how I've done it is I've set those up into the vise like this. I've grabbed a shifter. I've put the shifter on it in this, and I've turned it back on my mark and to my angle. That's obviously the angle there, this angle coming through here. And the reason I've got that angle is because when that loads in here onto our drum, like so, you can see that those pieces actually fit in quite well. So they actually line up on the outside like that. Then all we do is actually fit this part of the gate on there as well, like that. And we end up with a nice little finished section. So anyway, that's the snare gate parts. I'll check back in a bit later. Bye. So they came out really good. They're all bent and twisted. I modeled them off an original ROGERS bottom hoop, snare hoop. So they're pretty much the same, but I'll just remind you of what I had in 10. Be back in a second. Yes, here we go. Right. So, if you remember, I actually didn't have anything to make them out of. So I had this piece of stainless steel angle, and I actually cut it out of there. So you can still see the cut marks. I cut them, I just folded them up, drilled them, pressed them. They came up really good. So I'm excited to put all that together and show you what it looks like. We've got our snare butt plates all here. Everything, little branding with ROGERS on it, came up really nice. If you want to zoom in here, you can see there nicely. Comes in here, it says ROGERS on the butt. We've got some logos that have been redone. We've got our clock face over here. Put it up the right way with ROGERS on it. Our lugs weren't too bad when they went over. Now I have them fully bead blasted. These are chrome and some of it's pitting and whatnot. Generally I go this way because I love the look of it, to be honest. But if the chrome's crap or it's heading that way, I just like the look of it. So I have them all completely stripped back to raw metal and then powder coated, and they've done a lovely job. So powder coaters I use are Sunshine Coast powder coaters, I think. I'll put a little picture. I took a photo of them. They've been doing my stuff for years, and they've done a great job. Well, ever since I've moved up to Sunshine Coast, anyway, they've done an excellent job. So that's all those parts. We got some hoops. Remember, these are 15s. Look at all this single-use plastic. What are we going to do? I'll recycle it in my recycling bin somewhere. Okay, so here's our hoops we actually made. Oh, we didn't make the hoop, let me be clear. This was exactly the other half of that. Remember, this was a tom. This was a tom that we had, and I cut this hoop, standard hoop, and made it into a snare gated hoop. Now let's have a look. We've got our little parts that are from ROGERS. Again, Pro Music supplied those, and we've got our little bars here that drop in there like that, and like this. Ta-da, we put a bolt through there, and that's what it looks like, just like factory. So excited to get this drum all assembled and up and running. I might drop the camera and pop it up on top and do a bit of a work over the bench as I just throw all this together. We've got inserts to go in here. Now, I did something that's crazy, I think. I'm not sure yet. I don't even know why I powder coated these inserts. I think they go in here, black, and I've only got 10 of them. So either I got them off some other drum that I'm doing a project with. I don't really remember or even know. I've also got a dampener. I don't know if I'm going to reinstall the dampener. Remember, that's the standard insert. Just drops up in there and your spring locates into here. So we've got to reassemble all of those. I'm just not sure why I've got these ones and why I powder coated those. So as I said, they may be ROGERS, they may not be. We'll see. Generally, there's probably 100 parts go into for powder coating in one hit. And then I've got to try and sort out where all the little bits go. And I take photos, which is, I'd recommend taking photos. But even going back through photos, I can be going back to last year, and that could be, 2,000 photos I have to try and filter through. So I will be working on my cataloging within my own phone, so I know where we're at. But anyway, that's where we're at. We're going to pull this drum together now and get it looking pretty smashing. So I'm Tony Moore. I'll be back soon, and let's see how we go with this. Hi guys, Tony Moore, Killer Drums here. Welcome back. We've been working on a drum for quite some time. It's the ROGERS 15-inch tom that we converted into a snom. Well, today we're going to reveal it. This is the drum. Check it out. So I've mounted it here with a Pearl Opti mount. Pearl mount here, the badge. You jump underneath, you'll see the snare mech and the awesome, very awesome little Dynasonic system. Super sweet. Drums come up very good. Couple of things. We're going to do a sound test in a minute. I've got a little kit set up here. This is a Premier 1970s. We've rewrapped this in Formica gloss yellow. Cool little kit. I've just got a Pearl free floating. It looks like 5-inch kind of drum. Old head. It's really just what we had in here, and we thought we'd put it up with this. So I'll do a sound test in a minute. I just thought I'd talk about a couple of things in doing this project that I learnt. First thing is, this is a 15-inch drum. Keep in mind, the bigger the head, so the wider the head, whenever you hit the center of it, the further it travels up and down. So if I hit this drum, you might be able to come in here low and sort of see across the head. You'll see as I hit this, it actually goes down quite a way. And that's because the head's wider. Smaller diameters, there's less travel, less movement. That's significant for one reason and one reason alone. Whatever I do to the top head, there's a counter reaction on the bottom head. I've got a snare head, a snare bottom head on here. Let me flip it up for you. So you'll see under there, we've got a Remo snare bottom. So it's a 15-inch, it's a very thin head, so it's probably a 3mm head. And yet on the top here, I've got a coated Emperor, which is a double ply head, and that's probably 2 7-plies. So we've got a 14 ply and a 3 ply. The thinner bottom means it vibrates fast, and it also shortens the note a little bit, makes a higher pitch, the thinner head, higher pitch, thicker head, lower pitch. The lower one on the top means I'll get nice woody tones, but it's a compromise. So the one thing I learnt with this is a 15-inch snom, although I love a 15 on the left-hand side here, it's actually really quite a boggy head to play out of, to actually get your sticks back out of, because it's a little bit bigger. So a 14-inch snom is probably the optimal size. Hence why I didn't actually put a snare bed on the bottom as well. I kept it pretty much the same. That's one thing. The other thing is this. I'm going to hit this drum. This is just a free floater. Oh, check out my new sticks. Ta-da! This is not sponsored by this brand at all. It's actually not. But I thought I'd try these new sticks out. These are called Big Apple Bop, made in Germany. I like many things German. Even my coffee. Stay there. Check this out. Ah, it always tastes better when it's in something like that. Anyway, that's the last bit of that one. So, anyway, back to the real world. What I was saying with this particular drum is that when I actually hit the top head, see if you can tell me what you hear. Snare's off. Now jump down here. Let's have a look right underneath here. I want you to get down so you can see my snare wires. Can you still see me there? Awesome. Check this out, right? So watch the snare wires when I hit the drum. You see that action? The vibration's actually pulling the wires back up to the top. That is the same problem I had over here on the 15. So I've had to do a little bit of tuning to get rid of it. Now I'm gonna, that's off, that's on. So it's off at the moment. Jump down below. With the actual frame, the frame, the Dynasonic frame, it helps. But you can still see it pulling back up. All right, it's not hitting like this drum over here, which is hitting. So that's a success in the sense that we're not having the same issue, but it was an issue. How did I solve it? I did 3 things. First thing, on the Dynasonic, if you look right around here, there's a little screw on the end. That screw there tightens these wires. It pulls them tighter, which means there's less vibration and less distance. I've also strung it up in such a way that it's fairly rigid. Even though I've used the same strings, it's still pretty rigid. So that helps it not to flex, and also that cool frame under there keeps it all nice and locked tight. Anyway, that's that. So look, enough of this. Let's have a listen to this drum. First of all, wires are off. We've got 2 mics running a D4 on the top, and that'll be a Heil PR25, I think they are. No, PR28. A PR28. On the bottom, Y, I normally use D4s on any toms, and the PR28 is just what I had, so we put it on the snare. We'll turn off the bottom mic now, and we'll just play the top so you can hear what the top sounds like. All right, so a couple of things. You're going to hear a little high-pitched ping off the top. We won't do any EQ or any compression or anything. It'll just be what comes out of that mic. We're running through back over here over my shoulder. I think we got the Phoenix DRS8s. Phoenix DRS8s, and then straight into the Mac. Nothing else is happening to it. So there's no EQ, nothing going on, just straight in. But what you're hearing is that little tiny high-end ping. That's this head sound. It's this ping. Ting, ting, ting. It's because that snare head on the bottom is a little bit tighter to get the snare sound. Now, I've had to adjust the snare by listening to it. That means I've engaged the snares, and then I've tuned top and bottom head in place to actually get rid of any of the harmonics or the slap back that we get over here on this drum. All right, so now I've got the snares on. We're going to turn, we'll turn the bottom mic on now. So bottom mic is on. Top mic is on, and this is what the snare sounds like. Pretty fat. pretty cool actually. These sticks are great, by the way. Anyway, so you'll see that if you focus in tight here as I hit this drum, you'll see it is quite boggy. Like here's my double. Ready? I'll let the stick bounce. There's nothing there. On this snare drum, all right, this one, almost nothing. Which means you've got to pull them out. Really got to lift it out of the drum. But that's okay. It is exactly what it is. All right, so let's give some context. We'll whack this on. Floor tom over here. Let's play a beat. Turn this off, click off down here, so snare's off. So we'll do a build on this side. Build on this side. All right, all in all, I'm pretty happy with this drum. Love the look of it, obviously, but as far as snoms go, it's probably one of the better ones that I've ever played. A lot of them are very much a compromise. This is too, but it does have its place. Anyway, so that's the ROGERS drum. Got any comments about the process or making it? Let me know. Once again, mechanism I've placed on the side. Normally, I'd have this drum rotated a little bit that way. So the mechanism is right there, dampener here. But to show you, I just had it turned around a little bit like that. Anyway, I'm going to play out, and thanks for watching. Thanks for checking out this series. We have a whole bunch more coming up. Do us a favor, if you've learned anything in any of the videos that we've done, and I hate saying it, but honestly, if you can do a subscribe, do a like, and share it with your friends, that'll really help out. We're just a new channel. We're trying to do something different, and we're trying to give you good content that you haven't had before, or perhaps it's just a little bit different to what you'd normally get. Anyway, give us a shout out, give us a subscribe, help us build this, and we'll get you some more stuff. Anyway, that's me, and I'm going to play some stuff. Thank you.